Now is your time to flex.
What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. We want to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by the Motivators at Fledgeology, the life coaching and motivational speaking company that is committed to exposing you to the potential of your dreams so that you can get out of your comfort zone and on to living that extraordinary life. I'm your host, B. Jones, and today I am joined by our CMO. It used to be Chief Marketing Officer, but I'm going to start calling him Chief Motivating Officer, because when Art get a fire lit underneath him, man, that thing spreads like wildfire. Art, what's happening? Faison, what's going on?
All good. What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm glad to be here. Unfortunately, I got day duties today, but I didn't want to leave all the fletchings out there without a little inspiration from Art. So Art Faison. So I appreciate you guys being here. Please make sure you let us know your feedback later on today, and listen to us, let us know what's going on. But I appreciate you guys listening today, and I love seeing your faces later on soon. So have a good day, y'all.
We also have joining us Mr. Logistics. BJ, what's happening?
Everything's good, man. Glad to be here.
Cool. We got the Q's on the line, Mike D.
Road to the brush.
And DJ Barry B. Fresh, El Fresh Dente himself. What's going on?
He's always, best believe that, fresh by popular demand, in the building, ready to get it. We staying fired up, baby.
And the prolific one, Carol, how you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling all right. Got some of this bug is going around, but other than that, I am good, ready to go.
Easy. So we heard from Faison a little bit earlier, man. He came on and dipped out real quick. He had to take Namdi to the gym or what have you. But I was talking about him and his marketing or his motivating fire from yesterday. Y'all remember how he was lit early in the morning because he had got a piece of some information?
Early in the morning, like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man, he came on barking orders like, hey, what do we need to upgrade this and do this? I'm like, wow, man, where did all of this fire come from? Like, and it's pockets of it, because sometimes, Art Faison will, just be kind of cruising along, and then out of nowhere, it's like, hey, what's this? What's that? What we doing?
Welcome to our world since 1998, man. This guy Faison, like, when he gets hyped or he has an idea, that is it. There's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter what time of day or night it is. He is moving on it, and that's it. You can ask Fresh about that, man. Like, we've been through some things with Faison due to his excitement.
And yeah, not only his excitement, but trying to decipher the Faison language of being able to understand through his excitement exactly what he is speaking on and exactly what must be done in order to not make him go postal.
Yeah.
Right, because once the speed of talking just multiplies by like 5, and you have no idea what he's saying.
Exactly, man. I mean, I'm still trying to catch on. Like, even yesterday we was talking about, when we was going to record and everything like that, and he's throwing stuff in there, and I'm trying to like decipher, like, okay, what does this mean? And then, the autocorrect on the phones nowadays, it's just bad for him. So it's like changing all kinds of words. And I guess, like you said, he just typed faster, or his head is moving faster than his fingers, and it's just like, it's just a big cluster.
That's Faison, man. I'll tell you a quick story. So back in the day, we were all in school. We used to take trips. So sometimes we went to the Keys, sometimes we went to Orlando. So we go to Orlando. I think it's for Halloween Horror Nights. Is that right, Fresh? I think.
Oh my gosh, you get out my head, bro. Yes, it was Halloween Horror Nights. Running.
We go to Halloween Horror Nights, and we're all supposed to leave the next day. Mind you, it's like 30 people. But Faison decide he wants to go to Universal Studios, and everybody else is like, hey man, but we all got to get back, like, we're leaving. And he was so dedicated to this. He's like, that's fine, you all just leave me, I'll just go rent a car and I'll drive myself back.
That's how it works.
And that was it.
And
That
lo
was
and behold and lo, that man, sure enough, watched us all leave. Are you sure? Hey, I'm going to Universal Studios. Point blank, period. either you're with me or you against me right now at this point. And sure enough, that man told us about the greatest time ever. He had a Universal Studio by his lungs. G status.
Absolutely.
Same thing with this morning, man. I'm like, dog, why do you want to just hop on and say hello? You know, it's okay if you got to take Nomni to the gym. He's like, no, I'm not missing the podcast. We're going to record a quick 30-second message. I'm going to be in and out, and they're going to love me for it. And I'm like, all right, man, you got it. It's your show. You got it. Oh, man. Hey, so we got... Go ahead, man.
You just cannot blame him for his dedication and his commitment.
Nah, man, we love him.
Once he gets motivated, you just gotta let him go. You can't box it up. If you box it up, somebody gonna get hurt. And you gonna feel offended. Hey, you're not like behind us. So you're like, we got the point. It's just like, yo, that's art. We got him back. We got him back. Let him go, man. And we just gonna support him.
And there it is. Hey, so y'all have plans for the Easter holiday? Most of us on here have kids. All of us, actually. Y'all got plans for Easter?
Yeah, we're doing the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, man. You know, it's been a tough week for the Kane Nation, man. So I'll actually be driving down to South Florida for our celebration of life for Big Bang. So the Easter plans we did have, we kind of put to the side.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. There will be a lot of representation from the Fledgeology crew, showing some love for our fallen soldier.
So for the rest of the world out there, the Kane Nation, University of Miami Hurricanes, as you know, everybody on this call except for one person that you haven't heard from in a long time, and it's probably because he's not a Hurricane. So he met his quota for times he can talk on the podcast. Shout out to J Dace, T.I. intern.
Yeah, you, bro. Come back.
Yo, no diggity. They need your voice. The people been asking.
Yeah, they need your voice and they need your poses for sure. Yeah, so we had 2 deaths back to back. One last Sunday and one on Monday. And they were both, tragic. So the Kane Nation hurting right now. So shout out to all the Hurricanes out there. A lot of cool things have been going on around the country this week in commemoration of our 2 fallen soldiers, as Ian said. Celebrations in Chicago, New York. I know they were trying to do one in Atlanta this weekend. So, and we have our thing tomorrow. So, stay strong, Hurricane Nation. As you know, when the weather gets tough, we band together and we continue to move forward.
While we on the subject, man, I mean, I didn't know Bing like that. I knew Abeku that we spoke of. Me and him were actually at UM around the same time. He was a couple years ahead of me. Now we weren't like the best of friends or whatever, but I could definitely see the influence and the impact that he had on those around him. But y'all want to speak on Bing just a little bit, to give the people an idea of what he was and what he meant to the university?
Bang was, and I've talked to numerous friends about this, but Bang was more a movement and an entity than he really was a person. And seeing it now after his life is gone, to see how much he meant to so many people, and he was everybody's brother, and he was the person who unified everything. He was the guy who could take you anywhere and make you feel like anywhere was at home, and that you were always loved wherever you were at. And I mean, just a really good, genuine dude who, even me and Kay were talking about, his legacy is living life and having that experience and not being scared to pursue your dreams and not being scared to do it to the fullest. Like, that man was, he was just a ball of energy, life, love, and fun, man. Really, really sad to see him go, but it's really awesome to feel the energy and what he left and how he touched everybody.
Yeah, man, that dude, he would do anything for anybody. It didn't matter. He transcended all silos. So he walked into any group, talked to anybody. Even if we were out, this guy would talk to the manager of any place, whether it was to commend them on their establishment or whether it was something was wrong. I was going to say, not just the man, not to cut you off, but this man would know the guy in the bathroom
who is the guy watching them, but he would know everybody. Literally, his sister, I was speaking with her last night, said that the guys in Jamaica who are like they call them the pound chicken man, the guys who are selling like food on the side of the road and cigarettes and stuff like that. She went to the gas station before she left to come up here, and she was like, as soon as she got out the car, she just heard they screamed over to her and said, hey, please tell us it's not true. She put her head down and she was like, they all just fell out. Like, he touched. This man knew everybody from the least most in the corner person that nobody knows, all the way up to, like Carol said, the manager or whoever's owning the place. And he was cool and a brother of that person, not just, oh yeah, I know him. It's like, nah, Abeng, oh yeah, always.
He was
Go ahead, BJ.
So the best way I came up with is that he's that general spirit. Even though this is man, he's like big in stature, but no matter where he is, all he did was bring laughter and life to wherever he walked. He just that's that spirit he brought, and I think that's what everybody reminisces on right now, because it was genuine. No matter where, like they said, no matter where you were at, where you were going, no matter if he met you 10 years ago and he saw you today, it was still the same. So it's just that spirit, man. This man came out like a week and a half before it happened. Put a call out that I needed some help moving. This man, like, yo, I'm there. He came up with all of us. Most of us on the call right now were there moving. The man showed up. Even brought a friend with him. Said, yo, I'm gonna help my boy move. They're like, well, if you coming with me, you coming to help. And just brought his boy with him. So, I mean, he just had that giving nature and that spirit in him. That again, no matter where he went, he just brought it in and just like loved life, man. That's the best thing you can say about him.
Yep. And the thing is, in addition to his stature, Bang went through times where he had money, times where he didn't have money, and he never let that stop him. He never let that hold him back from talking to somebody or doing what it was he needed to do, man. Like, it just didn't matter. He was always going to, because of how he was, he still had impact, he still had influence.
Yeah, man, it sounds like, even though it's so sudden, man, it seems like he was taken, from this world prematurely, but it sounds like he never wasted any of the time that he had. It sounds like he realized his gift and was definitely enthusiastic about sharing it with the world.
Definitely. Crazy story I actually found out last night from his mom and sister was that he had sleep apnea, and that it was diagnosed when he was 19. And when he was diagnosed with it, they actually told him that he wasn't supposed to live past 14. And he was 39. He just turned 39 on the 15th of March. So he was already a living miracle. So it's funny that even thinking that it was so soon and sudden, it's really being able to recognize that it actually was, a miracle. Just the fact that he was here and he was literally like a walking angel on earth. He wasn't even supposed to be here, and he was just spreading so much joy, life, and love that it's awesome, man.
That's good stuff. Yeah, it's a hard loss for everybody, but I think we're all at a place where we see the impact that he had, and it just makes us proud to know him. I think we knew him. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but we knew him on a more personal level than just seeing him out and just hanging around schools. So this was one of our brothers. So yeah, I think we took it hard because of that. But at the same time, again, just like you just said, he lived life, and we can't be upset about that. We can't be sad about that, because he made his time worthwhile every single day he was here.
Right, man. Just listening to y'all talk about him, he's a true to life example of what it is to like make your gift happen, because he touched so many different people. So his impact is reaching, you talking about from Atlanta, where they're having celebrations, to Chicago, to while he was at UM. So he wasn't afraid to utilize his gift. He never, contained it. So I think that's really important for today's show to talk about, not waiting to make your gift happen or staying in that comfort zone, being, I guess, trapped by the fear or, not actually doing, I guess, taking the time to realize a gift, because you can spread yourself so much and impact so many lives. And on the flip side, man, like I said, it seems to us, that he was taken prematurely. So, we only working with a finite amount of time here on this earth. So why not utilize it to our advantage? Why not utilize our gift to the best of our potential?
Exactly. And that's the point that I really want to drive, is that there are people out there that are listening to this, or there are people that, you should probably send this to, that they have a gift and they keep making reasons as to why they're not out there pursuing their gift or displaying their gift. And at some point you got to look at it as you're being selfish, because you never know who your gift is intended to impact, who your gift is intended to benefit. It's not about you, right? Like you were given that gift, and in most cases, whatever your gift is, it's not something that you really need, but other people need it.
Well said. And a lot of people take their gifts to the grave with them, and that's one thing we can say did not happen with Bang. There's so many people out there that hold it inside, or don't know how to get started, or don't know what to do with it, don't know how to develop it. And sometimes you just gotta sit back and let it flow. There's no real rhyme or reason or plan.
Right, man. I mean, I think it's always gonna be what comes most natural to you. It's easy to overlook, but it's so simple and has so much impact on other people. So when we talk about Carroll and his gift of not only gab, but relatability, like his communication skills are just phenomenal, but he finds a way to connect with the next person. And Bing sounds like the same person. For me, it's all about being in a team environment and trying to be a positive role model to impact someone. So realizing that gift with Fresh, the energy that he brings to the table, and the enthusiasm that he will infuse into you no matter what the situation is. All of these things come naturally to us, and so when it's that easy to you and so simple to you, but has such a great impact on the outside world, that's really when you know. And those people will not be shy about giving you that feedback and letting you know, yeah, wow, yeah, you really did this for me, or wow, you're really great at this.
I think it's I was gonna say, I think that it's just like how we created Fledgeology. It's literally about taking that lead. A lot of people get caught in the, I need more time. This, that, it's not the right time, whatever's going on, but don't realize just go, start doing something. You don't, just because you leap doesn't mean that you have to take the full leap. You can take baby steps to that couple test jumps in order to prep yourself to really go full throttle. But making sure that you start on a path is really where it all begins, of course.
And when we started this, nobody was thinking about a podcast when we started this. We took the first step, and as we started organizing, Brett came into the fold, and he had the idea of a podcast, and we've told this story before, and now he runs a podcast. But when you take that first step, the universe will start to align for you. Things will start to align. People will get sent into your life that are going to help you with that gift. And people that need that gift, you're going to see them. It's going to become very clear what it is you're supposed to be doing with that gift, and who you need to bless with it.
So we talked a lot about Bing, man, and Abeku. I mean, both of the situations were just so tragic, man. We don't know a whole lot around Abeku's situation, but for the little bit of details, I mean, we definitely see that the way things kind of transpired, that he was probably dealing with something, internally, and for whatever reason, he wasn't able to deal with whatever it was in a more constructive manner than what he did. And I want to talk about that as well because, you know, especially us as men, you know, we take on a whole lot sometimes, and we're emotional creatures, probably a little bit more emotional than females at times. We're just not like the boo-hoo cry emotional, but we take on a lot and don't necessarily express it to others because we're supposed to be a man. We're supposed to be macho, that bravado. And just the simple act of asking for help or expressing something to a friend might seem like climbing Mount Everest to us, you know what I'm saying? But when we actually do that, you know, just the relief that we kind of have. I mean, I remember joining the Beacon Squad. One of the first things we did was outline, you know, our goals and our principles, and, you know, we talked about our life. I was getting to know you guys were getting to know me, and it just became like a communal relationship. You know, we hold each other accountable. If we know each other's goals, we do check-ins. When we're going through things, you know, we know that we're stronger together than we are apart. And I think it's really important for society in general to know that you can always reach out for help. You know, you don't have to go through things alone, and you don't have to feel by yourself. There is someone in your inner circle that will listen to you.
Even if there's not someone in your inner circle, there's always, you know, helplines and other things, because some people don't necessarily stay in the inner circle, and that may be where, you know, the frustration begins. But there's always somewhere that you can reach out to. Helplines, we'll make sure to get those contact numbers as well. But just like Brett said, it's about getting out emotion. My wife does a really good job of, you know, reiterating that to me and let me know, especially times like this when I've lost a friend, that, you know, it's okay to go ahead and cry. It's not, you know, you're not showing weakness. It's not like, you know, anything's a turn. It's okay to get out emotion. It's okay to have those conversations with your friends about, you know, and your spouse about, you know, things that are troubling you, what you're worrying about. You never know where a listening ear can provide help that you didn't even realize.
And you got to get those things out, those things that cause you angst, those things that cause you anxiety, because when you just hold them on the inside, they start to decay who you are, and they start to decay and overtake the positivity that you have within you. So you absolutely have to find a way to express and exercise whatever that emotion, that feeling is. So in the case of Abeku, look, we'll never know the truth. You know, all parties involved, you know, are past, unfortunately. And look, we don't condone, you know, what happened, but we do know that that's not who he was. Very quiet, a very quiet individual at the time, always smiling, super competitive from what I hear.
He was mad competitive because, you know, like I said, me and him didn't have too many run-ins. We did a couple fashion shows together at UM, but we played basketball together. And when I tell you, like, we put everything on the line. So we're opposing, like, we're competing against each other. And yeah, it's like game 7 in the finals every play. So, I mean, and I can appreciate that, man. It was never any true angst or, you know, I guess hard feelings, you know, because I'm a competitor myself, but he definitely had a true competitive spirit, man.
Good dude, real good dude. Yeah.
So we're gonna come back to something that you just said in a little while, but I want to get this out first. So again, for somebody that we know that didn't display this type of aggression or this type of reaction, there definitely had to be something there, and we really wish that he would have had the opportunity to express whatever that was, or talk to somebody, be able to get that out. As you can see, it changed who he was. And that's why we say you have to be able to, whatever that pain is that you're going through, whatever that thing is, you have to be able to get it out, and you have to be able to talk to somebody. If you can't talk to somebody in your circle, then you got to go external, you know, whether it's somebody in the church or the mosque or whoever, you know, a professional that gets paid for it. In the end, it's worth it for you to either spend that time or that money to deal with whatever that issue is.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll even take it a step further, man, because a lot of the things that we discuss here on the 13th floor, it all pertains to life. So, you know, when you talking, you know, we're talking about, you know, Abeku and his situation, but just situations, you know, in general, like say relationships, you know, the things that you feel internally that you may not necessarily express to your spouse, that may lead you down a path or change the person that you are. You know, we live in a society where, you know, certain things, you know, affairs, if these things, like those things of that nature typically tend to happen. But if people were able to communicate their feelings beforehand, I feel like a lot of that stuff could possibly be, what's the word I'm looking for, prevented. And on the front end, just by communicating and getting that stuff out, because, you know, maybe you aren't supposed to be together for a specific reason, or maybe you can help each other stay together for certain reasons. I mean, there's a show on HBO, Insecure, and the main character, Issa, her and her boyfriend went through something similar just in their relationship, and it was something drastic that changed their relationship, and it was all because of a failure to communicate, a failure to express certain feelings that, you know, each one was having during a relationship.
Gotta talk about it. Yeah, the wife and I have been together for 20 years, and our rule is if you're going to be angry, it better be something that's worth going to bed angry about. Otherwise, talk about it and communicate through it so that way we can both be on the same page. And a lot of times you're coming from two different angles, but you're saying the same thing, you're just using different language. And people get caught up in the language instead of trying to understand the meaning of what the person is trying to say, and just being humble. I mean, at some point in time, you can't always be right if you're going to be in a partnership, and that's what marriage is. So you got to give, she got to give, and eventually the more you talk through it, you start to realize those non-negotiables. So certain things are just non-negotiable when it comes to a relationship. Other things, I mean, it's two people, and you got a lifetime of experiences, you got a lifetime of things that have happened to you that have caused you to think the way that you do, and things change. So what may have been acceptable when you first got together in your relationship may not still be the same 10, 15 years. It could be now everything is okay. It could be, this happened in my life and it caused me to change.
All right, we gonna hold that fire right there, because that's a whole podcast in itself, marriage and relationships. So yeah, so we're gonna postpone and table the rest of that discussion. But look, it's been a real heavy podcast, so let's add some levity to this. I want to go back and I want to talk about Brett and his modeling. So you didn't
stunt. You know, we don't know how many of the fledglings out there saw how he stunted real quick on y'all. Real quick, just drop that home.
If I hadn't been so involved with the bros at my tenure at UM, I'm pretty sure y'all would see me on TV as somebody's express model or some junk. I definitely think I had a good shot at making it big.
Wow.
But then he had no poses though when we was out there. You was not the pose master, so that kind of hurts right there, man. We don't know if you're telling the truth right now. We believe in competitiveness.
No, I'm telling you, man. Like from all right, so yeah, the modeling thing, it wasn't big, but you know they have fashion shows at UM. But we did fashion shows at Flomo. I was part of a modeling troupe at FIU. We did them at St. Thomas. So like I was all over the place. I think what I guess deterred me, like I said, was I was too involved with the bros. But then I got branded. So like the amount of makeup and junk that they would have to put to cover it up and all that stuff, I wasn't focused. But man, I could have done it.
Yeah, you gotta cover the brands with the makeup. Switch with the brands. You can't have brands when you're showing off your people got tags.
Whoever tagged you, man, they weren't steady with that iron, man. So you know you got to blame them. But yeah, man, that's.
I do have an ugly name.
I'm trying to
shout out to 9-6.
I'm trying to figure it out. Wow, I know who that was. It's funny.
That's funny.
That's real funny.
He gonna be bad.
I don't care.
Man,
I know. That's
listen,
why it's funny.
And if he's not mad, then we should all be mad, because he should listen to the podcast and he should hear it.
Right.
So. But yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. I just want to know why that didn't come out in your biocast. about the modeling, because I mean that's a big
That's
deal,
true.
man. Like we were in South Florida, and it's a highly competitive area for that type of thing, and here you were, multiple schools and part of a modeling group and all that stuff, man. That's big.
I don't know, man. We didn't talk. You ain't asked the right questions.
I didn't ask the right questions. All right, man. We'll see you on the catwalk somewhere.
Nah, man, it man, I'm good. It was fun though. Actually, man, if Group Wed ever gets back up, man, I'm gonna try and get on with them when they do their launch parties or whatever. Fresh, why you looking at me? I'm serious, man. I can make a comeback like Mike, man. 45. Let's go.
Hey, listen.
Run.
Guys out here, you know, there's jokes on here, but to see the real jokes, you would have to see the video of when we're actually doing this. And eventually one day we're going to get to where we show the video and it just takes the podcast to a whole different level because of the foolishness that goes on. But the next thing I want to go to, did anybody see the dog? Speaking of video, did anybody see the dog pop up in Fresh's video?
You saw how cute and lovable and how I brought him back?
Yeah, you saw how that was?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just so sweet, man. You don't never talk about the dog, man. What's up, man?
Man, I have multiple pets in this house. I'm surrounded by females, so you know that's why I be so high pressure and intense, because I got a lot of estrogen around me. But I do have we have Winnie. She's some type of real sensitive sounding dog, like a oodle doodle or something, you know. But yeah, she's a maniac. She's only 2 years old and she's always running around, very high energy. Then we also have Peaches. She's 13 years old, a little chihuahua. She's an old mean hag, but she, you know, we still love her all the same.
Yeah, and I just want to go back and clear up for everybody. He was not suggesting that the females in his house were part of his pets. That's not what he was saying, because it came off like that.
Jeez.
It came off like that, and I just want to go back and clear it up now, just in case, you know.
That's what Carol's here for. I just, you know, I sometimes just, you know, bring it out and then we wrap it all up together. That's what Carol does. He puts them in nice packages.
Yeah, because I just don't want, you know.
I don't need no drama neither, man. I appreciate. I don't need no drama neither.
That's not
Wayne in the dude.
Exactly. This is an Easter egg, though. I'm gonna find out if she really listening.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That is great. Hey, listen, man. What's up with this going to war, man? How many people are we gonna fight at one time?
Listen, man. They said Trump was gonna push the button, and so I'm working on renewing I got my passport's good for another 3 years. But we getting Nia and Kellen some passports. Chris getting hers. She's sending her birth certificate Monday. And we probably gonna end up in Canada, man, on some mooses, bullwinkling, and all that. Cause can't do it, man. I'm right here next to DC. So
on the real, Canada is shouts to Canada. Toronto, I recently was there last month. Great city, man. Shouts to Toronto, the 6. You know, Drake, what it do? Yeah, it's definitely worth. We might make that trip with you, B. But you know, I do retort back to you being close to DC and where it might go down.
It's going down, man. Like, how many people we gonna fight? Like Kay said, and on one end, China is like the major not pawn, but the major piece when it comes to North Korea and how they want to handle that situation. Then you got Iran, Syria, and Russia finna team up. So World War III is fastly approaching, in my opinion, and we're definitely not on the right end of it.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I really hope that this man gets overruled and trumped by, you know, everybody else out there, Congress and the Senate and whatnot, because this is crazy.
But they're not even speaking up, man. That's the thing.
They're not. But go ahead, Mike.
They doing their own thing. They like let him do what he doing, and everybody focus on him. And I'm back here trying to make these moves on my own before people find out.
That's the other thing. I feel like it's distraction after distraction after distraction. So now you put Russia on the opposing side. So ain't nobody really. The investigation around the election meddling is still kind of sort of being talked about, but nobody's talking about the failed mission in Yemen, where I think it was General McAllister, where the general ended up dying in that mission. You bomb Syria, but then you got the failed attack due to some quote unquote bad intelligence from the Syrian rebels, where you kill like 18 people. So it's like it's distraction after distraction, taken away from like what should be the focus of the corruption and everything going on with this administration.
Yeah, but it's almost to a point where you do it's almost to a point where you do so much stuff that you can't cover it all. Like literally, I got 15 things going. News cycle can't cover everything because by the time you figure out this one thing, I'm dropping a bomb here. All right, well now we're gonna talk about that. So you got it in terms of how you setting up your news coverage. You got to pick what's most important. And he got 4 or 5 things coming out every day. So what I was doing on last Friday is old news. They ain't gonna be able to follow up on it. Just keep coming.
Well, hopefully they get that stuff under control, because at the rate it's going, man, they're gonna reenact the draft, stuff like that, because there's just no way that we're gonna have enough people to fight these multiple countries at once. So hopefully they get it all under control, and we don't all have to be doing this podcast from like random countries and stuff like that. So
underground bunker.
I'll say it here first, I'm not going. I don't know how to shoot nobody's gun, and I ain't trying to learn. And I am not the fighter.
We too old anyway. We are happy.
No, I think yeah.
I'm gonna say facts.
I don't think Brett.
I'm pretty sure I'm eligible because I'm pretty sure the draft goes up to like 35, 40.
I don't think so. I think it's mid-20s. You can't
Only
be no
mid-20s?
35. Yeah, you can't be no 35-year-old dude out there with a bad back and a bad knee trying to avoid.
Well, I need to get a Ford baby.
Right, they want them young bucks that can get on they can carry all that stuff.
You are correct, sir.
You are correct, sir.
My bad. You right. Man, well, I took this shrapnel back of mine. Yep, you right. You right.
Nah, I'm straight on that.
Man.
Definitely have to Muhammad Ali that one.
Hey, so let's get back to Faison real quick. So I don't know if y'all saw that he posted in our room that he posted pictures of Namdi at the gym, and Namdi is not interacting with anyone. He is sitting by himself like something went wrong and he took his ball and went home, and he's just sitting there. He's not playing with anybody.
Everybody else is looking at him like nobody. He just looks like, man,
Namdi is
don't come over
disinterested.
here.
He's like, where's the Cocoa Puffs in the cartoons, man? It's Saturday morning. What we doing?
Yeah, well, why are we here, Dad? He's sitting by himself. So Faison, you could have been you could have been on for the whole show. I can't wait till you go and listen to this before we post it, so that you can hear that we talked about you, because you could have done that at home with him. I'm sure you have 2 balls at home that he sat on the floor with, and watched.
So what'd you say, Carol? You say he bougie? What? Oh, okay.
Yeah. What? Hey, listen. So for those of you that if you haven't heard it before, Faison, the wife, is Nigerian, and what we are looking at in these pictures is definitely the Nigerian part of Namdi, where he's like, I don't do this foolishness. I do not do this.
Play with him? Are you crazy?
What?
Have they been bathed? Boogers and applesauce, mommy.
We
No.
finna meme the heck out of Namdi, man. I can just see him coming now. Like that. Have they been banned?
Hey, listen. Hey,
When you woke up on the wrong side of the crib.
You want me to do what? What is this ball? You don't know this. Girl, how you want to wrap it up, man?
Let's go, man. Hey, it's been a up and down podcast. It's been a little bit different. We definitely appreciate everybody, and Hey, for those of you out there, the Canes that listen to the podcast, we encourage you to leave your comments below, whether it be on iTunes, SoundCloud,
the Facebook page. I mean, Fledgeology.
The Facebook page.
Definitely appreciate all that activity.
Google Play, IG. Leave your greatest memories with Abeng and Abeku on there, and we'll definitely shout them out next week on next week's podcast. But I want to leave you guys with this. So we want to close this podcast out with talking about and just emphasizing the seriousness of this message we just delivered today. There are those of you out there that you are harboring items that you should not harbor. So one of those things might be a seed of productivity, and you're given a certain seed that you are supposed to nourish and enrich, and it has to bear fruit that benefits other people. Like that gift, that seed is not just for you. It is for you to share with other people. And it is so imperative that if you do not use it, you will lose it. And in losing it, you will lose yourself. And we don't want that to happen to you. So I'm telling you, there are folks out there right now, you are hesitating, and fear and pride are two dangerous things. And when we talk about these seeds, the opposite of that seed of productivity is that seed of destruction. And there are those of you out there that you're struggling with something that happened to you in your life, something that maybe it's in the past, maybe it's in the present. But even you have to be able to talk to somebody and to voice to somebody what you're going through. You can't do it on your own. So I know that our theme is I am the one. And yes, you are the one that has to bring that to light, that has to bring that to the attention of somebody else. But after that, there are people out there that are here to help you, and you don't have to do it alone. So I'm telling you, please focus on these words. Get whatever it is out. It is not meant for you to hold internally, whether it be a seed of productivity or a seed of destruction. The seed of destruction is affecting you in ways that you don't even know. Some of you are sick. Some of you can't seem to lose weight. Some of you can't have a functional relationship. Some of you just dread waking up every single day. And it is that seed of destruction that is doing that to you. It's like weeds in your grass. The more you have, the less that your grass is going to be able to grow, the less that your lawn is going to look pretty and just be that thing that you take pride in. Well, that happens to you internally when you don't let those things out. So we definitely want you to know, look, we love you. There are other people out there that love you. Those of you who haven't been able to get that seed out, we're looking forward to it. We're here every week to encourage you. And for those of you that are going through some things, look, we may not necessarily be able to directly provide you the help, but I'm telling you, if you can't reach out to anybody else and you post in the comments that you need help, we will research your area and find resources for you, because that is what we do here. And we want to encourage everybody and help everybody find that next level. Again, we love you all. We appreciate you for listening. And we'll see you here next week on the 13th floor.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely deepest condolences to the families of Bing Stu and Abeku Wilson. You're gone but not forgotten. You're moving on to a better place. But that's what it is here on the 13th floor, ladies and gentlemen, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing.
Believe it.
Now
You cut me out.
Time.
You cut me out last week, man. That's why I didn't prepare a song.
It didn't cut out.